Good morning, students. It is revision video of Civics Chapter 2, Ideals of our Constitution. Beta, the Constitution was adopted by the Constituent Assembly of India on 26 November 1949, but it came into effect on 26 January 1950. Why this was enforced on 26 January 1950? Bete, it was the Lahore session of Congress in December 1929, in which it was decided to celebrate 26 January as a Independence Day. But on that day, beta, the Congress leaders asked the British government to give Purna Swaraj or complete independence. That is why, to remember the importance of this date, our Constitution was enforced on 26 January 1950 and it declared India a republic. Features of our Constitution. India has the longest and the most detailed Constitution in the world. And the framers of the Constitution studied and incorporated the best features of various constitutions of the world, and some features of our constitution is borrowed from other countries. Let us talk about that. The fundamental right and federal form of government were adopted from the Constitution of USA. The parliamentary system of government and single citizenship was adopted from Constitution of UK. The directive principle of state policy was adopted from Ireland. The 5-year plan and fundamental duties were adopted from the Constitution of former USSR. Constitution was drafted in 1949. But since then, several changes have been taking place in our country, and it is essential to make modification in the Constitution also. And the process by which these modifications are done in Constitution is called amendment. But when we talk about our Constitution, it had 395 articles and 8 schedules when it was made. But now, when we talk about today, it has 448 articles, 12 scheduled, and over 100 amendments. The preamble. It is an introductory document which explains the goals of the government. It states the aims and objectives of the Constitution also. When we study it carefully, then we come to know that it is the people of India who are stating their aims and giving power to themselves. It thus depicts the hopes and aspirations of the people of India. Every government must keep the main principles of our Constitution in mind while framing the laws. We are now going to discuss some principles of our Constitution. Let us first talk about sovereignty. Sovereignty means that we are free from any external pressure on us, and we are free to govern our country ourselves. Not only this, all Indians are free to govern themselves and to make laws also. There should no external interference of any kind in the functioning of the government. Socialism. It means that everyone must enjoy social and economic equality. Social equality means everyone is equal before the law, and economic equality refers to the equitable distribution of wealth and a decent standard of living for all. We know that our country is secular country. What does this mean, This means that there will be no state religion. All religion will be treated equally, and the Constitution also guarantees the right to freedom of religion as a fundamental right. Democracy. We all know India is having democratic type of government. And democracy refers to the government wherein people have the power to vote and elect their representative to the government. These representatives then make laws on behalf of the people. And beta, in our country, citizens who are 18 years and above having right to vote. This is known as universal adult franchising. Federalism. India has a federal form of government. And what does this federalism means, Vita? That means in our country there is a government at two levels, at central level and at state level. President is the constitutional head of our country and the Prime Minister is the head of the government at the central level. And Parliament makes the laws for us. And when we talk about state, beta, governor is the nominal head of the state and chief minister is the head of the government. And in our system, beta, parliamentary system, the powers and functions of the central and state government have been clearly defined under three lists: union list, state list and concurrent list. India is a democratic republic, but it means that the head of the country is the chosen person or elected person. It is not the post that is hereditary filled in our country. And a democratic republic refers to the government chosen by the people. So the government is answerable to the people. All adults is having voting right and they can also contest the election. Political democracy grants equality to everyone. The term republic means the head of the state shall not be a hereditary head. As a republic, India also aims to secure justice, liberty, equality and fraternity to all its citizens. Fundamental rights. The fundamental rights are written in Part 3 of our Constitution and these rights are justiciable. The fundamental rights, however, not absolute. That means it can be changed in case of any external aggression or internal threat. Better, the fundamental right except right to life and liberty are suspended. Thus, the Constitution attempts to strike a balance between individual liberty and social control. Right to equality. Better, according to Article 14 to 18, the Constitution has declared that all the citizens of the country is equal before the law. No one will be discriminated on any base, maybe religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. All should be treated equally. Right to freedom. According to the Article 19 to 22, democracy cannot exist without individual freedom. Our Constitution guarantees 6 different freedoms to promote the ideal of liberty mentioned in the preamble. Let us talk about these 6 different freedoms. Number 1, freedom of speech and expression. Number 2, assemble peacefully and without arms. Number 3, form associations and unions. Number 4, move freely throughout the territory of India. Number 5, reside and settle in any part of India. Number 6, practice any profession and carry on any occupation, trade or business. Right against exploitation. It is written in Article 23 to 24 that abolish buying and selling of humans as well as all forms of forced labor. They also prohibits employing the children below age of 14. Right to freedom of religion. But we all know that there are so many religions in our country. And in our Constitution, Article 25 to 28 states that India is a secular country. That means in our country, no state religion is there. And the people following any religion will be treated equally. And all citizens of India have the freedom to practice and propagate her or his religion. Cultural and educational right. In our Constitution, Article 29 to 30, state that everyone has the right to develop and preserve their culture. We all know that people in our country belong to diverse cultures and speak different languages. Each community possesses rich literary and artistic tradition. They can preserve all the cultural and literary things. Not only this, they can open their educational institutions also. Right to constitutional remedies. In Article 32 of our Constitution, safeguards our fundamental rights by granting us the right to constitutional remedy. The right to constitutional remedies protect the citizen against any violation. A citizen can file a lawsuit against the government in the High Court and the Supreme Court. Directive Principles of State Policy. Part 4 of our Constitution contains guidelines for the state government, and it ensures that government work for the welfare of the people. These guidelines are called directive principles. These principles are directive to promote a just social order. The importance of these principles can be judged from the facts that the Supreme Court has referred to them as a conscience of the Constitution. Fundamental duties. We all know that right cannot exist in isolation. अगर केवल अधिकार दे दिए जाएं और आपसे कोई अपेक्षा ना की जाए तो आप उन अधिकारों का दुरुपयोग करेंगे. इसीलिए हमारे जो लीडर्स थे उन्होंने कहा कि दोनों चीज़ें, फंडामेंटल राइट्स एंड फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज़, दोनों पैरेलल चलनी चाहिए. द 42nd Amendment Act of 1976 added responsibilities to the citizen of the country. Let us talk about these duties, and these duties are known as fundamental duties. Number 1, we should respect our national symbols. There were certain ideals like democracy, non-violence and secularism that inspired our freedom fighters during the national movement. We must respect these ideals. We should protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of our country. Whenever required, we should be prepared to show our patriotism. We should promote harmony and brotherhood among the people. We must take care of public property. We must preserve our natural environment. We must develop scientific attitude. We must not follow harmful social practices. We must value and preserve our rich cultural heritage. It is the duty of the parents or the guardian to send their children to school. These all are the fundamental duties. Thank you. Have a nice day.